Welcome to the January meeting of the Open Space Greenways Committee meeting. We're starting a little bit late. We just adjourned from a study session. So I'm going to reconvene the meeting, the regular meeting of the Open Space Committee, and if we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, the first item on the agenda is the approval of the December meeting minutes, which are attached in your package.
I second it.
Okay.
That was fast.
Approve.
Aye.
Aye. That's done. Any revisions to the agenda as presented? If not, we will proceed. As far as reports is concerned, Carl, could you give us an update of what's been happening to the township and any news about the open space program?
Two things, Mr. Chairman. Thank you recommended by this commission to be accepted as donations by the township board to the township board.
What?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The township has accepted the recommendation of this commission for the donation, to accept the donation of the 2 lots in the wildlife sanctuary. And title is going to be passing this month. We attempted to do it in December, but the Buyers Council took ill. The second thing is that the township board has been advised that there is, in fact, some interest in negotiations by Manager Ream for property acquisition. And without getting into any specifics, they understand that he is making some efforts to follow through on what we've previously proposed. That's my report.
Thank you. As far as the Grosse Ile Nature Land Conservancy meeting is concerned, this Bird is in another meeting and could not be here tonight, so we will dispense with her report. As far as the Recreation Commission is concerned, Leah Shelke submitted a brief report, so if you could give that for us, Pat, we'd appreciate it.
Okay, the next meeting of the Recreation Commission is January the 25th. The skating rink is going well. Everyone is asked to refer to the Facebook page and the Recreation website for updates of everything they have going on. And they want us to refer to the channels for classes and additional winter programs. No one should really say they're bored on the island because there's more going on, folks, than you can ever take interest in. The Daddy-Daughter Dinner Dance is February the 2nd, Middle School Cafe at 6:30 to 8, and is $25 per couple spots. You can register at Water's Edge or even online. Sledding Olympics were canceled for January 13th, and there's a new thing coming up, the Winterfest, February 24th from 4 till 7 at Water's Edge. And folks, it's free. Chili cook-off, ice skating, and a snowman contest is calling you to come. The Daddy-Daughter Dance, 6:30 to 8.
No, 6:30.
That's a chili cook-off, 4 to 7. The meeting on January 25th, The next one is February 2nd, 6:30 to 8 for the daddy-daughter. There you go.
About 6:30.
6:30 to
Cafe,
8.
school
That's in the
cafe,
cafeteria, yeah.
$25. Is that the dance or is that
That's for the
food?
daddy-daughter. It includes.
Oh, that's it. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I thought we were having food.
Well, maybe you get food.
No,
for
I don't
20.
know. No, and then
All right.
I thought it was something different.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you, Pat.
As far as the Beautification Commission is concerned, I talked to Pam Frucci today. There will be no beautification meetings in January or February, so there will be no reports forthcoming for the Beautification Commission during that period. As far as the Bike Path Commission, I haven't had a chance to talk to Brian Pollock, and I will have something at the next meeting. The next item is the public comments. Inasmuch as we don't have any audience here, there will be no public comments. As far as project status is concerned, as far as the ferry trail issue, we're proceeding with that issue. It's going to take some time to consummate all the things that have to be done in terms of property purchases and trail. If that's successful, the trail construction and so forth, and be assured that the township and the committee is working diligently to bring this thing to a successful conclusion. Next item is the welcome letters. Woody, is there anything to, how many letters did we send out?
75,000.
You don't know.
17.
17, all right. And I think you told me that you're running a little short on
I am.
on information, and I'll be getting that for
That's
you.
okay. You don't have to. Then I don't have to send it out.
Okay. All right, thank you for your thoughts, Woody.
No, good.
School liaison, Bert is not here, so there'll be no report on the school liaison. There are a number of action items that we need to resolve tonight. First thing is the annual report, and that is, if you will turn to your package, I have revised the annual report per the discussions that we had last month, and I hope you've had a chance to read them over. Are there any changes or additions or deletions? If I may, just briefly go through this. We've as far as status of things that we completed, we had 2 junk programs. We've worked with the Township Board to purchase additional open space property with existing funds. Those actions are in progress right now. They're still ongoing. Communicate open space information to Groceal residents. We did not do a very good job on that one this year, but Pam Frucci has agreed to prepare some articles which will be published in the papers beginning in February, and I'll be working with Pam on that issue to give you a better update of what the committee is doing. As far as expanding the educational concept and involving Groceal schools, we partially achieved that. However, the student that we had appointed from the school resigned due to his workload, and Bert is working with the school system right now to see if we can get a replacement. As far as the Island Fest is concerned, that's partially achieved. We provided, although we did not have a special booth, we cooperated with the Groceal Nature Land Conservancy to have information available about the Open Space Commission and its works at the last Island Fest event. Developed, improved measures to curtail vandalism. That's an area that we really have to work on. We tried to put up some signs, additional signs were installed, but that vandalism still occurs.
Do you think the signs are really working at all? Or is it a joke?
Well, the only thing of it is, it gives the police a little more emphasis, authority to say, look, there's a sign out there that says you're not to do this, you did it, so you have to pay the consequences.
Yeah, that's really going to work.
Develop an improved maintenance program to include provisions for new tree plantings where necessary. We didn't do anything on that area this year, but we plan to for next year. I want to spend a little bit of time talking about the objectives for next year. Are there any, if there's any changes that you folks feel we should put in, additions or deletions, please let me know. Prepare updates on a quarterly basis for publication in the Grosse Ile Grand and Trenton Tribune. We're going to reduce the Dump the Junk program to one event per year, and we're going to be talking about that a little bit later and formally approve that action. We're going to review open spaces for new tree plantings. We're going to work with the Township Board to, again, make sure that we procure additional open spaces with remaining funds in the acquisition account. Review and improve the maintenance programs for trails. Work with code enforcement activities to correct encroachment, an issue on open spaces, and this is where I'm going to have to work. We're going to have to work closely with our code enforcement officer, Tony Gray, and also the police system. And hopefully we can approve a liaison from the Grosse Ile schools. And last but not least, work with enforcement officials to initiate programs to curtail vandalism. So this very quickly gives us a report. When we say the annual report, it gives us a status of the objectives that we set for last year and how we did to them, and also sets our objectives for the following year. So I'm therefore asking the committee to review and to approve this as the annual report for the Open Space Committee.
I move that we accept the annual report as submitted with the revisions requested.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. The next item is a spending plan for next year. And if you turn to the plan, this is we call it it's a budget or it's a spending plan. And for sake of review, as you know, we do have a open space maintenance fund, at which time we have currently approximately $260,000 left in that account. Each year we prepare a budget in which we outline some of the things that we're going to be proposed to spend. And I think you have looked at these various line items, and I've made the changes that you've requested. I'm not going to go through all of them, but we plan to spend about $35,000 next year for budgeted items. Are there any changes or any additions, revisions, deletions to that proposed budget?
What are they going to spend it on?
It's in your package, Woody.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I would note for the community that there is simply two large items in there that take up the bulk of that budget, and one is a $12,000 proposal for the tree cutting and removal cleanup. That's up marginally from the $10,000 for this last year. And then a second item for trail maintenance and upgrade for $12,000. And with those two items taking up the great bulk of the matter, the rest of it seems to be very, very minimal, and you've done an excellent job keeping the cost down.
Thank you.
And those appear to be costs that are necessary so that we can keep enjoying the trails and the maintenance that's necessary.
Yeah, just for sake of maybe further clarification, we're talking about tree cutting and removal. Each time that there is a tree that's in danger of falling on a trail or else falling on some private property, We are notified by if it's a private property, the property owner will call us and say, there's a tree that's dead and it's leaning on my property. Can you remove it? Well, we remove it at no cost to the property owner. And that's been an ongoing issue for a number of years. And the reason the costs have been rather high is due to the emerald ash borer disease that we incurred a number of years ago. And we're still suffering from that very sad event. And the trail maintenance is, now that we have 4 existing trails with the possibility of a 5th trail, we have what we feel is an obligation, and rightfully so, to make sure that these trails are maintained. So, with that, is there any other questions? Do you have any questions, Daryl?
No.
Anybody else? Pat?
Nope, you did a great job incorporating our suggestions.
If not, I move that we approve. Any motion?
Motion to.
No, to approve.
Sure.
Okay.
That's good. That's fast. We're there now in
Pat, you
17 minutes.
second it?
We got it done in
I second,
17 minutes.
All those
Let's
in
go
favor?
home.
Aye.
Okay, and review the dump the junk program. Because of the rising cost of this program, we're deciding that, and I want to make it a formal motion to reduce the dump the junk program to 1 event per year, and that event will be in the spring. And the reason is cost, getting enough volunteers, and as far as how long it's going to be, whether we're going to have it 1 day or 2 days, is up for further discussion, and whether we're going to extend the hours during that 1 or 2 days will be up for discussion at the
You
next
said
meeting.
1 or 2. Now you said 1. Now what is it? 1 or 2?
1.
It's going to be 1.
One event. Now are we going to have it for 1 day or 2 days during that one weekend? So, but what I'm saying is that I want to have the opportunity to think about that, and as we get closer to, let's say if we have it in May, we can decide maybe at the April or March meeting whether to have it 1 day, 2 days, or whether we want to have it for 8 hours or 9 hours.
No days.
But I want a motion to reduce the dump the junk program to 1 event per year. I call for the question.
You want to move that?
Motion.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
Woody moves it. I second.
Darrell?
But it also, I'd like to see, we have a police department there at 3:30, and that's the cutoff. Anybody after 3:30, they can put it on the street from then, that hour, for the half hour to 4 o'clock. We're not here till 4:30, 5 o'clock on our own time to satisfy the sweet people out there in the world.
Good idea.
We'll see about it. We'll discuss that also.
So we shut it down at 3:30, and you'll have some people, and I'm not going to be running it, but we'll find out who has got balls and who has got not balls.
All right. Okay. We'll discuss that at the next meeting.
No, we discuss it openly.
Okay.
All right.
I think
I
that
want
his-
a motion to have 1 event per year.
Yeah.
And I call for the question.
Okay.
I approve.
Approve.
Aye.
Okay. Any other topics? Woody?
No, I have none. That's it.
I'm
Pat?
good.
If not, call for the question of the meeting be adjourned.
Adjourn.
Second.
Third, fourth, fifth, sixth.